Hello and welcome to Mickeyology, where we take Disney a little too seriously. I'm Austin Rathall, and today we are looking at the Disney classic that gave us our first Black Disney princess, marked the studio's return to hand-drawn animation, and eventually made its mark on Disneyland, The Princess and the Frog. When and where does this milestone movie take place? Well, to find out, let's dig a little deeper into the clues that are hidden inside the film. You can probably guess at least where the movie takes place. It features a song called Down in New Orleans, after all. The Princess and the Frog is unique among Disney films because not only is it set officially in a specific time and place, but the filmmakers established that setting before establishing any of the characters. Director Ron Clements said, "We had the time and the place before we had Tiana. We had the idea of setting the story in New Orleans before we thought, what's she going to be like?" Co-director John Musker added, "Setting the film in a real place in the 20s and having the heroine aspire to own her own restaurant were all really big changes from previous Disney films." These statements tell us that the movie takes place in New Orleans, Louisiana in the 1920s. However, filmmakers went even further, establishing where in New Orleans the different parts of the movie take place. The book The Art of the Princess and the Frog reveals that Tiana lives in the 9th Ward, Big Daddy lives in the Garden District, and the final showdown with Dr. Facilier happens in Lafayette Cemetery No. 1. Therefore, thanks to the filmmakers, we know exactly where the movie takes place. However, we don't yet know when in the 1920s the film takes place. To find out, we must examine some more clues. In the song When We're Human, Louis the alligator sings about his dream of becoming a jazz musician, and he drops the names of 2 real jazz musicians in the song. This tells us that Princess and the Frog takes place at a time when both Louis Armstrong and Sidney Bechet were already famous. Louis Armstrong began his rise to fame in 1922 when he joined Oliver's Creole Jazz Band. Sidney Bechet made his first recording in 1923 as a member of Clarence Williams' Blue Five. That means that the earliest year in which Louis and the others would be likely to know both Armstrong and Bechet would be 1923. The climax of the movie takes place at Mardi Gras. Now, Mardi Gras is always set 47 days before Easter, which means that it can take place any day between February 3rd and March 9th. So we know the time of year in which the movie takes place, and we know that it must take place during or after 1923 in the 1920s, but we still don't know exactly which Mardi Gras the movie's dealing with. The biggest clue to when the movie takes place is the newspaper that Big Daddy reads near the beginning of the film. The front page headline on the paper announces Prince Naveen's arrival in New Orleans, but that's not all it says. On the back page, we see a headline that reads, "Ford Corporation introduces Tri-Motor." The Tri-Motor was a real plane that was manufactured by the Ford Motor Company, and it made its first flight on August 2nd, 1926. Another headline on the back of the paper reads, "Gertrude Ederle readies to swim the English Channel." Gertrude Ederle was the first woman to ever swim the English Channel, and she did so on August 6th, 1926. Finally, the paper itself has a publication date. On the front page, in very small letters, it says Friday, April 25th, 1926. All this proves that the movie must take place during 1926. Did we just discover the exact day on which this scene takes place? Well, sort of. However, the day actually wouldn't be April 25th. Let me explain. In reality, April 25th fell on a Sunday in 1926, not a Friday as the paper claims. We must also remember that the movie is supposed to take place around Mardi Gras, which never falls that late in the year. In 1926, Mardi Gras actually fell on the date of February 16th. However, while the paper does have some anachronisms, all the historically accurate parts of the paper indicate that The Princess and the Frog takes place in 1926. Based on the movie's clues, I'm placing The Princess and the Frog in New Orleans, Louisiana, around February 16th, 1926. So there you have it. That is my theory for when Disney's The Princess and the Frog takes place. Please let me know in the comments what you thought of my conclusions and when and where you think the film takes place. Also, let me know which Disney movie you would like me to analyze next. Please don't forget to like and subscribe so that you don't miss another video and the channel has a chance to grow. And as always, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.